Welcome to DeckWise, folks. My name is Roderick Cable. I'm the marketing director here. Today we're going to be talking about our wooden deck cleaner and our wooden deck brightener. We've got Adam with us here, and he's wetting down the deck, and then we're going to be mixing up some of the product. We're going to use 1/3 of a cup to every gallon. So he's going to shake some of that in there here in a second. Now again, we want to make sure that this deck is wet down, and then we're going to scrub it. Now once we get the product in the bucket, we want to make sure it dissolves. Warm water will definitely help dissolve it. Cooler water is going to take a little bit longer to dissolve it, but what we're looking for is effervescence, the suds, the foam that we get off of this product. So right now we've got the deck wet, and we're going to put the product on as liberal as possible. Liberal meaning Adam's going to put it out here, and he's not necessarily going to do the hard scrubbing, but he's going to get the product on there, and we're going to let that product do its job. Let it soak, let it sit for maybe 15-20 minutes. And again, it's going to depend on your area too. We want to keep this deck wet. So if you're in the sun, today we're in some shade because it's pretty hot here. The sun's going to dry your wood out pretty fast even after you wet it down. So we're going to make a goal of keeping this deck wet while we're applying the product as liberal as possible.
This is going to bubble up like it's your kitchen soap. It's going to form these little streams of bubbles where it's attacking the foreign chemicals in there, while keeping it wet.
We're going to rinse it off, and after we rinse it off, it still may not be as clean as we want. So we can do another cleaning if we desire. We could do 2 more. It just depends on your wood, your deck, your environment, maybe how much Ipe oil or finish you've used over the years. So you may want to do a couple more. Okay, now we've got it all scrubbed, and now we're going to rinse it.
Good thorough rinsing, make sure we get all the suds off. We don't want any of this left behind.
Okay, so now we're getting all of the bubbles and the effervescence off of the deck. We're going to make sure we really rinse this down. And again, we want to emphasize that not everybody's deck, region, and area is going to be the same, so expectations are really a case-by-case basis. Okay, now we've got everything prepped and ready for the brightener. We're keeping the wood wet. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this brightener, and that's going to restore the pH value like I said earlier. Adam? So those are 16-ounce canisters of our cleaner and brightener. We also have 32-ounce containers of the cleaner and brightener. The 16-ounce will do 600 square feet, and the 32-ounce will do 1,200 square feet. So there's quite a bit of product there, considering, again, with the brightener, we're using 1/3 cup to every gallon. And you can have a little bit stronger potency of the cleaner and brightener if you feel like your deck needs it, but it's recommended to start out with just the 1/3 cup to every gallon. So now, just like with the cleaner, Adam's putting on the brightener as liberal as possible, and then we're going to let that sit and soak in as well. Now the soak time for the brightener is a little different than the cleaner. Whereas the cleaner was 15 to 20 minutes we're letting it soak, now we're going to have this brightener soak for 30 minutes before we do our hard scrubbing. Okay, as you can see, Adam is now scrubbing the brightener in. He's going to scrub it just as much as he did the brightener. We've already let it soak for 30 minutes. We're going to rinse this, and then we're going to be ready for the next step. which the next step for us would be applying one of our wood finishes. Okay, so now we've shown you what the cleaner and the brightener can do. Again, these are the 16-ounce containers that cover 600 square feet, and we've got them in 32-ounce containers that cover 1,200 square feet. So Adam right now is finishing up rinsing the deck thoroughly, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna let that dry before we put on any kind of finish. A finish like Ipe Oil Plus, or WiseCoat that we have here at DeckWise. We want you to stay tuned because we're gonna show you something pretty neat. If you've ever seen a deck that has gray or patina on it, we're gonna use the wood cleaner and brightener on that, and then we're gonna put on some of our oil finishes, or even maybe our water-based finish, which is the WiseCoat. So that's a wrap. Deck on.